Welcome to the 3D print show. Not sure what I'm going to call it yet, so maybe down in the description you can give me a hand trying to name it, because I'm not really good with naming things, I guess. So anyway, the start of what I'm going to do is I'm going to be showing you how to upgrade your games, either through inserts, through pieces, and to take them to the next level with a 3D printer. So in front of me, I got both copies of Brass Birmingham and Brass Birmingham and Brass Lancashire. These are the new editions that were done by Roxley via a Kickstarter recently, and now they're just mainstream available. These are the deluxe version with the iron clays that come included with them. So they're a little bit thicker than the regular retail versions. You can still pick up the deluxe versions. They just had a reprint of them done recently. So what I'm going to show you is how to use the included insert, because it does come with a vacuum form tray or a plastic insert in there. How to use that included insert and make it better, because right now, if you get it, you punch all the chits that you put on your player board and you just kind of throw them in baggies and throw them in there, and then when you take them out, you just kind of set everything up. So setup takes a little bit longer. There's an easy insert, cheap to do, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you in Brass Birmingham how to do it and how to set up on the printer. I will put a file description for Brass Lancashire, and I will show you how to do it, how to print it, and the cost. Anyway, let's take it to the computer now. So we're going to go over to Thingiverse, and we're going to look for the Brass Birmingham insert. Now I will put the link in the description. I'll also put the link in the description for the Brass Lancashire insert as well. They're both very similar. The only obvious difference is going to be the barrel tray right here. So there's 5 files. So you're going to download, there's 4 files, You're going to download the four files. The reason why there's 5 listed is that there's a Birmingham player tray and there's a new Birmingham player tray. There's a difference in the player trays. The Birmingham player tray up at the top, that is for any copy, I believe, from October of 2019 and before, which is all their older print runs. This one will work fine. The new Birmingham player tray will work for the brand new print run, which I believe happened after October. I printed both because I had a friend of mine that got the new version. And the new version does, the chits are bigger, so it won't fit in the older one, or they'll be very tight. I'm pretty sure you could probably use the new one specifically for the older version. I have the older player trays. They're very close in size. You can hardly tell, but 100% the chits are bigger in the new version. So you're going to download the 4 that you need. The Birmingham cover at the top right here, this one right here, you're only going to need this if you do vertical storage. If you do horizontal storage, you don't really need it. It's just meant to keep everything in place. I mean, if you want it, it's perfect. It's great, even if you do horizontal storage, but it's mainly meant for vertical storage. So we're gonna download those. We're also gonna go over here and we're going to read the description here, and which you should always do whenever you're printing anything from Thingiverse. Read the description. Always take a look at what's there. So it tells you that you're going to need supports. It tells you that your resolution that they're suggesting is 0.3 and your infill is 15%. Now with the supports, there's actually a little bit of a caveat, which I'm going to tell you shortly. But one of the things that I always recommend when you're looking at files on Thingiverse is always go through the comments. Read through the comments, because there's people that will single out different things as to what's worked better, what hasn't worked better, suggestions, what they can do. I mean, you can see here somebody's made a comment, is this for the new deluxe edition in November 26, 2019, which is what those new player trays are for. So always read through the comments, and the reason why it's important is that you'll find out things like this, where it suggested supports here in the thing details, the supports. You don't need it for every piece. You're only going to need it for three pieces. So, and you can print those separately, so you don't have to waste the extra time. And it technically doesn't actually print supports, and I'll show you and explain to you as I do it. So we're gonna go over here to Cura, and I've already got the 4 loaded. So it's really easy when you're loading. I just did a little loop. When you're loading, you're gonna go up to the top. You're gonna open your file. You're gonna click on your new player trays here. You're gonna load one up. It's gonna load one, and then when you want to add multiples, you're just gonna click here. You're gonna multiply, and as you can see, I added 3. It's going to populate 3. And then you're going to move them to where you want them on the printer bed. So as you can see, I'm moving I'm moving that around. Now, I've chosen my larger printer, which you can see is an Anycubic Chiron, because of the printer bed. It allowed me to print a whole bunch all at once, making it kind of a leave it and forget it type of a print. So the other things I'm going to add to this printer bed here, we're going to add the covers. So we're going to add the Birmingham covers right here. So we're going to add one, and then we're going to do the multiply on this one as well. We're just going to do multiply. You only need 2 covers, and I'll show you why you only need 2 covers when I show you the actual insert. So, as suggested, we're going to come over here to the layer height, 0.3. You see the infill density here. Now, it suggested an infill of 15%, 100%, 15% works great with this, right? You're going to see the printing temperature here. You're going to set it to whatever you feel works with your actual PLA or ABS, whatever you're using. I use PLA. Printing speed, whatever your printer's comfortable doing. I do 65 millimeters per second. Seems to work well with my Chirons and my Anycubic i3 Megas. I'm going to unclick support because you do not need support for these 6 items here. And then we're going to slice. So it's going to slice it. It's going to slice it up here. It obviously didn't click slice here. Sometimes it's a little finicky. I've pressed slice a few too many times, as you can see. Sometimes Cura can be a little finicky. You'll press slice a couple times and it won't want to slice, and all of a sudden it'll start slicing. So just keep doing it. Now as you can see, it's going through its slicing. So while it's doing its slicing, we're gonna go to another Cura window. As you can see, I'll open up another one. We're gonna do the Chiron here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna load up the last 3 pieces that are in this insert. Now these are printed separately. As you can see, I had a lot of space on the bed, but I'm gonna print them separately. So we're gonna do the barrels. So these are the barrels. The barrels are gonna go. Let me zoom in here. The barrels, we're just going to move it up to the top of the bed here. We're going to print one of those, and then we're going to do the cubes. So the cubes are going to actually print like this, or they're going to not print like this. They're going to come out on the bed like this. We're going to actually drop them down. So we're going to go down here to the third little icon, which is rotate. We're going to grab the blue, not the blue one, sorry, I always mess this up. We're going to do the red one, and we're going to turn it, make it level, drop it. Then we're going to go back up to the top to the position, and we're going to move it over here. And then we're going to multiply and add 1. I would suggest, just for ease of use, multiply after you've positioned it, you've dropped it on the bed. Because if you actually multiply it when it's standing up that way, it's going to multiply it standing up. So it's just going to do one less step. So again, the layer height for this is going to be 0.3. We're going to change the infill to 15%. This one, we are going to print support. Now, what the supports do, believe it or not, and in the 3D print world, supports are generally things that print to create, when you're printing over a void, the support is what prints to actually allow it to print over that void, and then you snap off the supports, and you have a freestanding area where this 3D print thing printed. What the supports do here is you're going to see these little curves in the tray. The support actually is going to help those curves print so that you're able to scoop pieces out of there. So that's why you print them separately. So we're going to slice that. I'm going to press slice again and see if, obviously, there we go, it's slicing. So we're going to switch over to this window here. This print's going to take 13 hours and 49 minutes. Now, with my Anycubic Chiron, because Cura doesn't do the settings properly, it's actually going to take about 15 and a half hours. We're going to go over here to the eye. It's going to give you a bunch of information. Now, I've entered in all of the information on how much my PLA costs and what's in a PLA roll. So it's going to tell me this tire print here is going to cost It's going to cost me $5.61 Canadian. Now, that doesn't include my power cost. That's just the cost of the material. And then we're going to check it out here. This one's slicing here as well. We're going to put that bigger window. Don't know why that was smalled. And we're going to check out, this one's going to be 5 hours and 32 minutes. Again, my Anycubic Chiron states a shorter print time in Cura. It's just the way that it's been. It's just the settings in Cura. It'll actually take about 7 hours to print. And the cost for this is going to be $2.03. So $2.03 plus your $5.49, I think it was in the other window. So you're looking at just under $8 to print all this without your power. If you include the power cost, you're probably about $8. So those are the 3 pieces that we're going to print, and we'll show you how they look and how they sit in the actual brass insert. The tray for the iron pieces. Now the tray for the iron and the tray for the coal is the exact same. The only thing I didn't mention in the actual video when I was setting it up in Cura was that the supports also print a little rim around the bottom here, and what you're going to do is you're going to snap that off, and that allows the coal and the iron to stack on top of each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the iron, and we're going to just slap it in here. That's done. Next one we're going to do is we're going to take the tray for the barrels. You take the barrels, you just throw them in any which way here. Pop them in here like this. Then you're going to take the trade tokens here, or I guess you'd call them the trade tokens. I'm not sure what their official name is. You're going to pop them in the center, and that's done. It's ready to go. Then you're going to grab a player tray. So I just grabbed this player tray here. First thing you're going to do is you're going to grab the two player pieces here. Now in the new brass player trays that I had said was the only difference, that there was a new brass and there was an older version for the older Kickstarter. Mine's an older Kickstarter. This area here is not 2 little holes. It's actually one big area where you can just throw in these chips. In mine, it's not. It's a very minor difference. This one you're just going to slap in your 2 pieces here. In the new version, it's just going to be one big cavity. You're just going to put them side by side. No big deal. Then you're going to take all your tokens, and I have them here all stacked up. That was stack up here. I see a couple of them here. I'm going to bring onto camera here. And with these particular tokens here, this is the only part that's a little bit, I guess you say, time consuming. You have to stack them from the top number, so 1 all the way down to whatever the bottom number. So in this case, for your barrel tokens, a 4 is your bottom number. I believe it's 4. Yeah, 4 is the bottom number here. So you're going to stack them. So you see I have them all stacked and ready to go here. And the cool thing about this insert is that all of these wells are the exact same size. So it doesn't matter where these go. They're all going to fit. So we're going to put your clay, bam. We're going to put the coal there. Now, as I said, they're all the same. See how this is a smaller set for clay? I'm going to put clay over here if I really wanted to. If I really wanted to, I could put I believe this is the cotton, and you could stack them down here and see. Fits perfect. Goes right up to the top. So over here, we're going to stack your iron, your coal, like that. Then you're going to take your crates here. You're going to stack them in the back. Again, doesn't matter where these go. These go just about anywhere. As long as they're numbered, it's going to be easier. The reason why you number them is for ease of setup. When you go to set up the game, you can just pull them out and you're just ready to pop them on the board. Then you're going to take your boats or your trains. And of course, the flip side, you take your boats and your trains, and they go on either end. Just kind of make 2 equal piles, as equal as you can make them, and you're going to pop them down in the end like this, the end like that. And then you're going to take your male-female, actually it's not male-female, I thought it was male-female, it must be male-female on some of the other player pieces. Because yeah, this is a male and a female here, but this one is not. That's kind of, I thought they were all male-female, I guess I was wrong. So anyway, that's going to go in the center right here, just to covering over these 2 chits. And as you're going to see, we have all the player trays ready to go here. We got 2 here. We got the other one here. Right here. We have another one over here, ready to go. Then we have the coal tray ready to go here. One of the covers right there. We're going to take this like this. This is your insert here. I'm going to make this nice and easy. So the easiest way to do this is we're going to take the player trays. Doesn't matter what color goes where. It doesn't matter which way they face, up or down. You're just going to stick one over here, one on top of that one. Going to make sure that it's flush against the wall over here. You're going to take your iron, or sorry, your coal and your iron. I keep getting them mixed up. I don't know why. They're really simple colors. Black is iron and, sorry, black is, I did it again. Black is coal and orange is iron. You're going to stack them on top of each other. They will stack on top of each other, and as you can see, because of that little dip that I told you that you're going to snap off, they fit into the recess and they kind of work together. So you're just going to throw one here, throw the other one on top of it. You're going to seed right into each other like that. Oops, apparently should be using 2 hands. That's why I have it on the camera and a mouse. So I can use 2 hands. There you go. And then you're going to take your player trays, all 4 of the player trays right here. The rest of the 2 player trays, actually. Sorry, you're going to put the 2 other ones over here. You're going to drop one down here, one down here. Now, these are your lids that you're going to use. Now, these again are for vertical storage mainly, but if you do horizontal storage and you like them because they're good to put on there to cover them, kudos to you. But again, vertical storage mainly. You're gonna pop one on top. It sits flush here. The other one's you're just gonna take those cube trays. You're just gonna put your finger in there just to hold them back a little bit so that they don't snag. Not the other way, actually. Sorry. And then they sink in like that. Then you're gonna take the barrels and your tray tokens, and this is what I think is what the card tray was originally. So where you would stack your cards in here. It goes in there. It's level in just a way that it sits right up flush to the top. Then you're gonna take your cards. Now I have my cards sleeved here. They're sleeved in Mayday premium sleeves, and I have all of them sleeved, and they're in this bag. I put them in a bag just to make them easier to pull out, and they slide right in there. And that is how you put everything in here, and it's ready to go. Cards. I put in the iron clays upside down as I showed you there, and we're gonna get everything ready to pack it up. So first thing we do is get the player boards. Put the player boards on top. Put the board on top of the player boards. Put the instruction manual here, or the guide there. Cover on, flush to the bottom, and there we go. That's your Brass Birmingham 3D printed insert. The Lancashire one is very similar. Instead of the tray for the barrels at the top corner there, you have a tray for your boats. But it pretty much goes in the exact same way. So that is a 3D printed insert. And next time, we'll show you another project on how to upgrade one of your games in the 3D print world.